computer.
Hey, where did you go?
There we go.
There she is. Okay.
Okay. Speaker view. Let me just put it to gallery view.
Kim. Hi, Kim.
Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Kim.
Hey, Kim.
I need sunglasses. I'm just going to do this while my eyes.
I'm glad
I think they'll adjust, but I'm just going to start. Are you recording? Oh,
recording.
Never mind. I'll tell you later.
Okay. Tell us after.
I'll tell you all after.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be recorded.
Okay. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us for our second new coach call. I know a number of people are catching the recording of this because it's in the middle of the day. The next one will be 30 minutes at 8 o'clock before our next team call, which is on August the 20th. So that'll be next week. But I just wanted to throw this one in because we kind of got messed up on the last one. So anyways, before we get started, I wanted to see, I don't know if you caught, who's our top coach? Ashley Molsted's call, our morning wake up call last Monday. But I have to tell you, and I just want to kind of tell you like an overall theme that I thought was super important is that limiting beliefs. You know, when we're dealing with Team Cup and we're thinking, oh my gosh, how are we going to hit Success Club 5? How am I going to hit Success Club 10? It's so hard. I can't even get past Success Club 0. I can't even get past 0 points, right? But it's all what you're telling yourself. A lot of it is what you're telling yourself. Like, it doesn't have to be hard. It's easy. If you tell yourself, it's just setting yourself up for a better chance at success. Like, I used to think hitting Success Club was so difficult. And then 5, and then hitting 10. And then once you do it, you're like, oh my gosh, it's not that bad. Like, Success Club 5 is helping 3 people. 3 people get started on their journey with the total solution. You know, Success Club 10 is just 5 people. 5 people out of your whole group of how many friends and family members that you have. So you just have to make sure that you're always talking to yourself in that positive way versus the negative. Like, it's like hitting emerald or hitting diamond. If you're saying, oh my gosh, it's so hard to hit emerald, it's so hard to hit diamond, it really is what you decide for yourself. And so we want you guys to have that belief in you all, because I'm totally being truthful, is Chrissy and I believe 110% in each of you on this team. We talk all the time about, we just can't believe you guys, the coaches that we have, just who you are as individuals, your work ethic, your desire to help people. It's like exactly what we could have dreamed of in a team. And so we have so much belief in you guys that we want you to have that belief in yourself as well. And I know being new, it's intimidating, it's overwhelming, there's so much to learn, but we're here to guide you and we're here to work together to get you through that. So the first coach call, obviously that's recorded. So if you missed the first coach call, for those that are watching the recording, I have the link and I can share that with you. But we're going to talk about today the vital behaviors. It's not going to be super long, but it's so important to focus on these 4 vital behaviors as a coach. To be successful, you really have to have all 4 pieces. One of the reasons I quit was because I wasn't following the 4 vital behaviors. And it's really, even if it's not every single day, at least during the week, that you're touching upon all of these vital behaviors. If you can touch on them every day, that's even better. Chrissy, did you want to add anything on before we roll through the slideshow?
I think on the first call you mentioned the Success Club tracker, right?
Yes.
So you guys are going to see here that the 4 vital behaviors are on that tracker. So this all goes together. It's not an extra thing to do. If you're following your tracker every day, then you're going to be hitting these behaviors. And just like Tanya said, sometimes I don't I actually don't always invite every day or do PD every day, or, you know, so sometimes I'll do chunks, and like I'll have an inviting day. I'll have a strong PD day, or a day that I'm really just pouring into my challengers and my team. So as we go through these, just know that too, like kind of know where you work best. Do you do best with doing all of them in a little bit a day? Do you work better with doing, you know, them in bulk? Because you really can't, as long as you're doing them all regularly and as much as the other one, it all does come together for you.
Great point. And that's why one of the coaches says, let's think of it as a week. So it's kind of hard with, you know, the tracker. It is broken up in pieces, but then you'll kind of see like, gosh, I didn't do much in this area, like getting people results. I don't know, you know, maybe I'm not focusing on the challenge groups or connecting with people that are challengers. So you can kind of see like, okay, I didn't do much inviting or much posting. I need to do that this day. So it just keeps you on track for the entire week, thinking about it as a whole week. But daily, it is super important to try to touch upon all of your vital behaviors. So we're going to just roll into the first. Oh, you can't see. You can't see my page. Okay, hang on. Share screen. Okay, and I'm going to make this bigger. Okay, can you see it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So, Chrissy, do you want to start with this slide?
Yes, sure. Sorry, I keep muting because my kids are all over. So I'm like, mute in between. Yes. So I actually think that most of us are doing a great job with this piece being proof the products work. And with the Facebook and IG stories, it's never been easier to share this every single day. So, you know, when I started, we didn't have stories. So it was like, oh my gosh, I have to like do like a huge post every day about my products, right? That doesn't hurt either. But this is such a nice way to just show your daily journey, and show all aspects of it, right? Showing your workout, showing the bloopers, the highs, the lows. But you want to make sure that you're also sharing, that you are sharing it on your page as well. So we obviously like the picture that you're seeing here. It's our before and afters, and those are great, but it's not what you have to be showing every day. So for example, I follow Tanya. I know like every day Tanya has a little chat in the morning. Like we've never talked about this. I don't know her method. I know her method. She has a little chat in the morning in her stories while she makes her energize, right? And then she has a clip of her workout. And, you know, based on like, depending on the day, she might share in there how she's feeling that day, if anything significant is going on. And then she usually has some type of family life going on in her stories. And then also, she's always sharing pretty much daily about something going on with the team. Pretty much daily, she includes in one of those like a call to action, right? A poll or something that says, do you want to join me? And then we also see, oh, I said her family life. Oh, her food. So I don't think she shares that daily, but that's like another thing. So these are the things that you want to start to think about yourself. What are the products that you use every single day? And I struggled with this too, guys. I'm like, do people want to see my shake every single day? But Tanya is once or twice a week is like, this is my energize. And in between, she's just making it while she chats. You know, she's just shaking it. It's just there. And so as people are watching her, they know what's in that cup. And they just see it over and over consistently what her story is. So that's what's really nice about the stories. What else does it say here? Post something about, oh, I just said all that. So coaching, fitness, and the products daily, and then include in there, you know, your normal everyday life. But don't don't substitute stories completely for posting on your page. This is the one thing I do see a little bit within the team, of people. They have their community page, so they're posting there. They have their stories, but they're still holding back on their own page. And you really want to step into that. So, maybe even just start with like that first post, and then go from there, work your way up. Okay, I'm going to have a goal of, 3 times a week to share my products in some way. This can be as easy too as just like a story, like a post about something else, and your product is there, right? Even a picture of you, like obviously you just worked out with your kiddo, and the story maybe is about you making back to school decisions, or you with your dog, or like it doesn't have to be so obvious when you're sharing the products either, but it's those daily. So yes, like these transformation pictures, they are obviously like what hits us, like, oh wow, look at this before and after. But leading up to this is what really makes people put that all together, of like they've seen you for the 3 weeks if you're doing MBF, right? They've seen the good and the bad. They've seen the days that you failed. They see the days that you triumphed. And so when you share these bigger posts, it's like, okay, I get it now, and I'm ready to go. So it's really all that coming together when you're sharing, being proof that the products work. And I just want to add one more thing with posting, because we are going to go into inviting, so I won't go too far, but posting is not inviting, okay? So it's part of it. It helps you. It opens the door to your invites. It gives you the street cred. You're not coming out of left field at someone. They know what you're doing, right? They feel like they're connected and they know you. But when you post, that is just like planting some seeds and giving you some people to talk to. The nice thing is in the stories is you can actually see who's watching you. So now you have this whole group of people to chit chat with. Same thing with the post. Obviously, those people though have to like and comment, so you don't always know who saw the post. But it's still very rare for someone. Like 99% of the time, if someone's randomly in my inbox because they want to do a program, it's because they already have done something with Beachbody with me. They're an old, I've been doing this for 6 years. So there's someone who's like, tell me about the new program. They already know, they've done it. It's very rare for me to throw up a post and people are just like flocking to me. So I just want you to make sure you have that off the bat, that sharing, being proof the product works is separate from inviting, which I think we're going to talk about next.
Yeah, thanks, Chrissy. That's a really good point, because some people feel like, okay, if I just do a post, somebody's going to come and somebody's going to say they want it. It rarely ever happens. Like, you have to look at those likes. You have to look at those comments. Those are little hints like, okay, they're thinking about it, or they're interested, or they're curious, or they're going to start following you, and you touch base. When you personally message and invite them, that's when that's going to start sparking, like, okay, it's like calling them to action, and the post does give you that opportunity, so it doesn't feel so awkward, like just reaching out randomly to somebody, just like, oh, I saw that you liked my post, so you know what I'm doing right now. It just gives you an opportunity to start the conversation. Before we move on here, and thanks, Chrissy, for following my stories. Yes, you absolutely got it. I do my same routine. I do my chit chat with everybody in the morning while I'm making my stuff and so forth. So if you follow my stories, my routine is my routine. And I was just talking to Leanne. That's the thing, is the other point that Chrissy said is a lot of people, going back to Leanne talking about sharing on our pages, on our personal pages. You guys, a lot of you have your fit communities and you're sharing in there, and you're sharing in your stories, because stories is a little bit more, feels a little safer, because you're like, doesn't seem like everybody's going to see it in their news feed. It's like they have to click on you to see your story, you know? But we definitely have seen a lot of people on the team just, still holding back a little bit. And it is nerve wracking. And like I was telling Leanne and some of the other coaches, it's just taking that chance to put yourself out there, because when they're selecting a coach or somebody to help them on their mission for better health, they want to see consistency. They want to see somebody that shows up every day. They want to see what you're up to and what you're doing. And like sometimes if you reach out to somebody and they have no idea, like, what are you talking about? Some coaching thing? Like, I've never seen you working out before. Like, I just see your kids and your dog or whatever. So you do have to make sure that you're presenting yourself. Like, this is free advertising. You know, we are so lucky to be in the direct sales industry right now, when we have the opportunity to share what we do and to share about our business in our own way, without having to go door to door or make phone calls or whatever. But you do have to kind of present yourself. This is like, you know, you want people to choose you. And they're not going to choose you unless you start sharing and letting them know. And you can share, just like Chrissy says, however you want. Those transformation posts are just one way. But you'll see from Chrissy's page or my page, I don't share transformations very often like this, because it's not comfortable for me, but I do periodically, just because I feel like it does kind of hit people. But I do a lot of just self-reflection and transformations of other types. And I did mention about curiosity marketing. So the last post that I did the other day on Transformation Tuesday about the work, I did break all the rules with curiosity marketing in that situation. Because it was a promo video, I knew they're going to see the work, they're going to see a Moila. But if you read that post at the end, and I wasn't saying just choose me, I was like saying choose a Beachbody coach. Like, choose a friend that does Beachbody, because there is no extra fee. This is what you're going to get. You're helping somebody else's business. You get these certain things. So I'm also telling them, informing them that yes, these are the products. I am a Beachbody coach, and it's okay to do that periodically. But I do tell them, you know, to think about purchasing through somebody because of such and such reasons. So that's how I kind of turn the curiosity marketing so that they would still reach out to me and not just jump on the website. So did you guys have questions about posting, or you guys have any questions about posting?
Nope.
Okay. Connect, invite, and follow up. So I think this is probably the toughest one. Well, I think there's challenges in all of them. And, you know, I have coaches that say, oh my gosh, I don't want to invite any more people, or I just really don't want to post. And it's hard. And you find things that are really easy to do. Like for me, I love challenge groups, and I love following up with people like that, like taking care of them and getting people results. I'm really good at that. I love that. And I love listening to PD. This time around, the first time I was coaching, I didn't do my PD, and so I was all messed up. But you know, every coach has their own strengths and what they like to do. And I think for me, I can connect to people, but then I sometimes forget to follow up. And then inviting is still challenging for me. So using the tracker, I've been trying more and more to use my tracker, which I haven't filled out Thursday yet, but I'm working on it. This is my own tracker that I made. There's so many different ones out there that you can use. And the Beachbody one is probably the best one to get started with, because it has the 4 vital behaviors right on here. And then the app tracker, I think, Chrissy, do you use the app tracker? The BAT app?
Yes, I just started to, because I can't commit to anything else. So I do have another tracker that I like a little better, but just the BAT is just so easy to make sure I'm just, every day doing what I need to do.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like a scribbler. I like to write things down. So for me, I don't use the app because I would forget something. Like I'll jot down what topic of a post if I have some ideas. Oh, Friday, I'm going to post about that. I use Teamsy, which it's the first 30 days are free. I don't necessarily think you'd have to have the Teamsy program. It's basically a website that you log into, you put all your contacts in, and then you can remind yourself when to reach out, what you said last in the conversation, if they bought something. I track a lot of different things in there. For me, I forget a lot, and I just struggle with that. So Teamsy is what I use. It's like $200 for the year, I think, or $250 for the year. So I just write it off. So that's optional. And then I keep all of my customers on a spreadsheet too. Like when you start collecting spreadsheets, let me see. I can't share that page, but you can keep your customers on a spreadsheet and do it that way. I tried it. I had a hard time with it, but some people do, and some people just do pencil and paper. I showed, I think the last time about this type of calendar. I do love this, and I still use it, where it has like a list here. And so I'll flip to a certain month. If they say, I can't do anything until next month, I just add them to my list for the next month. And then if I have any subscriptions that I need to remind, I just add them in the calendar. So that's another way to keep organized. But if you don't keep organized, you're going to forget people and you're not going to follow up. And I kind of feel like if you invite somebody and then you never talk to them again because they said no or they ghosted you, I think that's more awkward if you don't follow up, because they're like, oh, just because I didn't say yes, you're just going to forget about me. Like, because these are all your friends, family, acquaintances. I want to know that they're doing okay. And so I am going to make the effort to check in with them and just say hi, or to comment on their post or whatever, just to show that I do care about them, and that the sale is, I'm not hung up on the yes or no. I'm not hung up on if they don't buy something, it's like over. I want them to know that I care about them. The person is more important. So never stop following up, and never stop adding new people. Adding new people is super important. And that is, finding old friends, going to your high school friend that you might have on Facebook and looking through their friend list and see if there's anybody that you remember from high school that you can add. I have so many people on our team that or friends of friends, or just went to my high school, and it's been fun connecting. And I don't really know, we had a conversation in high school, but it doesn't really matter. Like this one girl, she was like a year or two older than me, and we friended each other, and or I friended her. She's got a son named Gavin, who's 16, mine's 14. He plays hockey. He's a dentist like Greg. So there's like so many connections, and it's just fun to reconnect with people. So definitely add people to your list. Okay, so Chrissy's, I'm going to have you go in to get people results. And if you had anything, to add about the connect and invite. Oh, wait, you're muted.
Sorry, I'm in a fight with an ant over here, so. I was just going to say, the new people is it's so important, you guys. As you start growing your groups, as you start running your challenges, growing your teams, you are going to get pulled towards, putting your time there, and it's going to take you away from new people very naturally. Don't let it. Make sure that you still are sharing your time, your daily business time, with always adding new people. Could you guys give me one sec? Is that really loud? My husband just pulled in the driveway and he's emptying his truck. Is that okay for you guys?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so getting people results. So number one is your Fit community page. Have your Fit community page just really be a place that you find your voice as a coach, because we're all different and we're all going to be a different we're going to have like, we all are going to put on that coach hat, but it's going to be a little bit of a different experience based on who you are. So you might be more into the fitness. You might be more into the nutrition. You might be more into the mindset. Maybe you're a combo of all of those. So don't, you know, really take that fit community page of yours and definitely get inspired by other coaches, but you want to also make sure that you're finding your own voice. So I always say, like, the free group or the free challenges, really, like, they're the most freeing for you, because they're your space where you're like, okay, you guys wanted to be here, and now this is who I am, and this is where I'm going to grow as a coach and a leader into who I want to be. And so, yes, running small challenges in there. So if you want to take more of that fitness role, if you want to take more of the nutrition role, if you want to take more of that mindset role, if you want to keep it a combo of all of those, as long, you know, you're going to get people results by showing up daily, running small challenges, and making sure that you stay connected with those people. Okay, then we have our challenge groups. Our challenge groups are awesome because now these people are actually using our programs, right? So whether it's the nutrition, the fitness, or both, they are using the products. And you want to make sure that you're giving these people, this is going to tie in a little bit more with the messenger pods, the one-on-one messages. Not that we don't do that for the free small challenges that we run, but you really want to be offering a little bit more to the people that are doing your actual challenges and your programs. So set a goal for yourself that you can stick to with how often you're going to check in. Definitely check in at least once a week privately when you have someone who's doing a program. The messenger pods are great because now they're connected on a personal level, and it's not only you. So there's other people in there when they have a question, or, you know, you probably will have to get it going, but once they're comfortable, you're going to have, they really start to get going, and you start to see, like, sometimes you go in there in the morning and you're like, oh my gosh, they're all like they were all chit-chatting last night, or whatever it might be. And that really starts to build your team. Like, that's where you start to see people bud as coaches, even, because now they're getting that whole community piece, and they're growing their confidence, and they're feeling connected. Okay, so we have the challenge groups, the messenger pods, the one-on-one messages, and the coach apprenticeship. So we're running a coach apprenticeship right now every single month. It's the third week of the month, and we put it in a place where we strategically put it there so that there's been some time in the month for anyone who's using our products to have had a little bit of experience. So these are the people that are liking it, they're doing good, they're feeling great. And, you know, it's kind of an easier invite than, hey, do you want to join my team and start a business? It's more just like, hey, we run this thing every month. It's informational. It gives you a little taste of what we do as coaches. And I'd love to have you come check it out. So make sure that you're always inviting to that apprenticeship, and make sure that you invite people over and over and over again. Like the people that you had sit in the apprenticeship last month that did not sign up, you invite them again this month. Hey, you know, there's going to be different speakers. I'm not sure if you were able to fully participate. I'd love to add you in again. So I just keep following up with those people, keep inviting them, have them experience it again. It always takes more than, for me at least, it always takes, maybe not always more than one apprenticeship, most of the time though, but it always takes many, 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 I call them touches with the person, for them to finally be at that point where they're like, okay, I feel like already, it's really once they feel, it's not even like they feel like they could be a part of it. It's when most of the time it clicks for them that they are a part of it. And it's like, okay, why aren't I doing this? I'm already like, I feel a part of this. And so that's what you're doing too, as you're getting people the results. You're really getting to that point where they are a part of it. Some other little things we have the meal plans. So if you have someone who is a paying member, we have those meal plans for them. And 1 week a month, we do the free open group in the BOD group, the free open challenge. And we give them a meal plan for that week. So that's a big like physical result thing. If they have a meal plan to follow for a week, most people, if they just follow the meal plan, they're going to get results in that 1 week. So, and I'm sorry, I was going to give you one other idea I had. Maybe it'll come back to me, but those are all the things that we do to help our people get results. I was going to say one more thing, but maybe it'll come back.
Okay. No, thanks, Chrissy. No, all great points. And I think with also the coach apprenticeship as new coaches, I'm hearing some of you are hesitant about inviting to it. And really, I think I used to overthink it all the time. When I started coaching, I never invited to the coaching opportunity or really much to the discount until they were ready to order their second order of Shakeology. But there's no reason, there should be nothing that holds you back from inviting people to be a coach, even if you're a new coach, because this is an opportunity that anybody can take advantage of. They can learn from us. That's why we have trainings, we teach. People can start coaching from the very beginning. So I invited two girls, and they're like, well, I'm not yet, they just started with Beachbody or whatever. I think I need to learn the programs more, or they have these misconceptions, but just invite them and tell them you don't have to be in tip-top shape yet. A lot of our successful coaches start off just with everybody else that they're bringing on, because they want to connect with a coach that is going through it with them, that is going through the struggles. So anybody can really start this business if they have an interest in earning an extra income and getting healthier at the same time. This is a perfect thing for them. So just don't overthink it. Just share with everybody, because you just never know who's waiting for this opportunity and who could absolutely take off. Okay. So I'm going to move on to personal development. This is our last slide and we will be done. So I have a book club, Tanya's book club. No, it's Empowering Women Book Club. And I started it because I believe so strongly in personal development, but I'm not the best book club leader because I never did a real book club before. So I do post. It seems like I have some activity, some excitement around this next book that we're doing, which is You Are a Badass, which Rebecca read, and it was so funny. She texted me one day and she quoted it or something, and she's like, I assumed you would have read it, but that book, she said, was awesome, unbelievable. So join us for the book club. I bought it on audiobook, and I'm going to start listening to it and trying to lead these people through this book club. I've been running the book club for over a year, and this is just a side note. You guys, if there's something you're passionate about, maybe it's cooking or cooking with kids or crafting, you can start your own Facebook group. I've had people, like there's one girl that's interested in the coach apprenticeship, and she was through the book club. She's like, oh my gosh, so I see that you drink Shakeology and that you're doing this coaching thing. Well, I'm trying to become a coach for, she said, keto or something. And so I invited her. I said, well, this might be perfect because you could help people with their fitness and with the Shakeology and everything. So it just draws you when you are in, like, I know Jackie is in some moms groups, just join groups and make friends. It's a great way to kind of put yourself out there. And if there's something that interests you other than fitness and health, I mean, it can, but so the book club was because I love personal development. I think it's super important and I need it. And I thought other women, it would be great to connect with other women too. So hopefully you'll join us. It's on my, I don't know where it is. I think it's on my team page, maybe. Okay, National Wake Up Call. Just like I mentioned, I haven't listened to this Monday's call. Chrissy, you probably did, but I haven't yet. But I will. I listened to Ashley's yesterday, and I'll listen to that one. That's really important to know what products are coming up, what's going on in the business side. They talk about recognition, and then you have a top coach teaching you their best strategies for success. The other thing,
And Tanya, thank you for mentioning that it's available in podcast.
yeah,
Because I was struggling. Well, no, it's just there's so many things going on. There's so many things I could sit in front of my computer and I'm like, this is crazy. So I listened to this Monday's, granted, on probably Tuesday and Wednesday while I was in the car. Like I'm in the car, I'm trapped in the car. I'm like, oh my God, I have this app and I finally figured out how to get my phone to play through the car. Anyway, so I listened to it and it's like by Tuesday, Wednesday afternoon, it's like done. I had it. So that was genius because I would have never thought to check the podcast.
Yeah.
So anyway, easy way to do it.
That's what I do. I listen to my PD while I'm in the shower is usually when it happens, or in the car. So it's great to have that on the podcast. Really, really important to do the National Wake Up Call. It always gets me fired up. It gives me ideas and thoughts on things and helps me rethink what I'm doing. Also getting on team calls is super important. I know our schedules don't always work with the team calls, but it's important just to get together, be a cohesive group. This is where we have fun and can see each other's faces and chit chat and also hear what's going on the team. So super important to join our team calls. And then if you have questions, if we don't have the answers, you can go to YouTube. There's tons of trainings from top coaches and you'll kind of start learning some of the top coaches that you like. Everybody finds people like I love Kim and Jamie Fitzpatrick. I know some people love Danielle Natoni, Ashley Molstead. There's so many top coaches and you'll find people that really inspire you, and you can find on YouTube their different calls and listen to them. And then there's also the Beachbody trainings that are in your Coach Back office. So jump in there, check out the FAQ if you have questions. But that's all kind of important stuff. If you feel on a day that you are struggling or you're just not in the mood to do anything, dive into PD that day. Put down your inviting, put down whatever you're doing, and just take a listen to some PD and get yourself out of a funk, because I will tell you, it will get you back on your feet. And sometimes you do have to take a day off and you just have to listen to some PD. And it doesn't have to be work-related PD. It could just be self-help stuff. That's not self-help, but we call it self-help, but just like the book club, the Empowering Women's Book Club, You Are a Badass is just a general PD book, personal development book, right? So definitely when you're having a funk, do that. Chrissy, did you want to add something?
Yeah, I was just going to say that I've changed it to mindset development because that's really what it is.
Oh, I
think when we hear personal development, we think like, oh, I don't have issues. It's like, well, we all have issues, but but I know what you're saying. But it really is your mindset. And the thing about this, which you've probably already experienced, if you've invited one person, you've already experienced this. It's, we're in the business of like, literally, it's very emotional and mental. We're talking to people, we're putting ourselves out there, and that can chew you up and spit you out real fast if your mindset is not strong. So that's really what it does. And I like to do, when I'm really on my PD, which I haven't been in a while. Actually, I did start You Are a Badass though, Tanya, because I thought that we started this week. So I did 3 chapters this week, and then I saw your post that we're starting next week. So I was like, hey, look, I'm ahead. But I make sure I listen to the wake up call. I make sure I do the team calls. And that's like my Beachbody PD for the week. I always have a book that I'm listening to that's mindset. So something like You Are a Badass. And then when I'm really on it, I also will add in like a little business tip type of thing, or for me, it's like spiritual stuff. So, you know, whatever fills your cup. And sometimes mindset too is movement. Sometimes for some people, it might be yoga, or making sure you get in some extra stretch, you know, like quiet time. And you'll find your way with it, but you don't need to do hours and hours of this. This is actually something that you want to do every single day if you can. And Wendy, like you said, when you're driving, I a lot of times when I shower, you know, and I'm just getting ready for the day, or when I'm folding laundry or chopping veggies, you know, like when I can't do anything else anyway, that's when I'll pop in and be like, okay, I'm going to listen to a chapter right now. So I fall off of it as well. And I actually was off it for a while, and I started getting back into it in the last few weeks. I think 2 weeks now I've been steady with it. And you feel the difference. You really do.
And then just to close, I feel like I'm definitely going to ask all of our coaches to watch this call, because we haven't really gone into the 4 vital behaviors in such a depth that we are now with our new coach call series. So I am going to ask everybody to watch this, because the thing is the success of a coach really falls on these 4 vital behaviors. If anybody fails at this business, it's because there's something in the 4 vital behaviors that they weren't on top of. If you do all 4 vital behaviors consistently, you can have success. You will be successful because you're consistent, you're sticking to it, you're expanding, you're inviting, you're doing all the things that you need to. And that's like, and I can tell you, when I quit coaching, I wasn't following all 4 vital behaviors. I was only doing like taking care of myself and taking care of the other people. I wasn't really connecting, inviting too much, and I wasn't doing any PD. So you can normally tell, and when you're struggling, when you're having struggles in your business and you're having downs, you got to just sit down and be honest with yourself. Am I doing all the vital behaviors? Am I really expanding my network? Did I really add new friends? Did I invite? Have I been posting consistently? And you will find that there's something lacking. And we just have to know that we're not perfect, and we're going to have ups and downs, and we're going to have days that we don't want to do it. And that's okay. If you need to take a day break, but just know that, you know, you just got to jump back in and keep going. And as Ashley had said, like, you've got to envision like your 5 years, like, I'm just going to give it my all and just do this and know that I can make it work and I can make something happen. So I think that's all I have. Does Chrissy, do you have anything else to add, or ladies, do you have any questions before we, okay. You guys, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. And we just have one last one next week. So, okay, we'll talk to you later.
All right.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.